Yo, it's your boy Mark Dub, alcoholic, feeling some sort of way right now, and I'm not gonna lie about it. You know, not every day's a peachy day, but I'm so grateful for my in-person men's group. I really am. Today we did a big book study, because, you know, it is Tuesday, and we do Big Book Tuesdays. And the last Tuesday of the month, we read a story. And today we read Jim's story. The new chair found it fitting to read Jim's story, and I'm glad he did. I have a little connection with Jim's story, but, you know, I got a lot of I can identify, let's put it that way. I identify a lot with Jim's story, being a black man, and him being a black man. But what I really identify, I can really put to my story is, my first day at the Greenwich Men's Group was a Saturday meeting. It was a beginner's meeting. And as I drove home, I threw on the Everything AA app, and I put on the big book, and I listened, and I just picked a random story, and it was Jim's story. I identify with Jim's story a lot. You know, there's a part in the story where, you know, he doesn't really talk about God too much in the story. You don't really hear too much about God. But he does say when he was younger, you know, he had this idea that God was a vengeful God because of his mother, and he couldn't comprehend God being a loving God, you know, so he stopped attending church. And I could really identify with that because, you know, I had my situations with my father, and my father went to a Baptist church, St. Francis, and my mother went to a Catholic church, St. Francis, and they were both in the same town. And, you know, my father, I found dead when I was 5 on April Fool's Day, and I had to go to my mother's church and do CCD. My father's church was a black church. My mother's church was a white church. And I mean, being the only black kid in the church, every day I got picked on. Every day. Every day I heard, April Fools, your dad's dead, and God doesn't make mistake, you bastard. That was very hurtful. I can also identify because in Jim's story, you know, he blacked out a lot. A lot. At the end of my drinking career, I was blacking out a lot, to the point where I blacked out 3 times in one night, you know. But there's a lot of things in the story that, you know, I could identify with, but I never did. Like, you know, he stabbed his wife with a pen. I would never do that. But, you know, then again, if I blacked out, how would I know if I did it or not? Well, I just know I never did it because I never went to jail, never got arrested. I know that I would have heard it if I did it, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful for that, I really am. But yeah, Jim's story, you know, being a black man in the 30s, right? I can imagine what that was been like, man. And then in the story, they talk about Ella G. Was this bigger woman that he remembered, and they 12-stepped him, right? And Jim's sponsor, who was Charlie G, and I in my head I think they're married, but, you know, who am I don't know. Ella G and Charlie G. Charlie was this white man that was Jim's sponsor, and he doesn't say it till the end of the story. You know, by the way, you know, my sponsor was a white man, and, you know, he had to hear from another alcoholic, and Charlie 12-stepped him. Ella set it up, and Jim listened, and Jim could really identify with Charlie and felt that Charlie was the only man that was like him. So, you know, and he said after he dropped Charlie off, well, after he watched Charlie get on the bus, whoever it was, cab, bus, wherever it was, there was 2 liquor stores on both corners, and he didn't think about it. And he talked about the hope. You know, I have a lot of red in that story because there was a lot of problems that I could identify with, and then there was the hope. And then the chairs around the room were fantastic, you know. And denial and delusion was one share, and, you know, faith, hope, and love came from another share, you know, and then the blackouts came from another share. I could identify with all of these things. And like I said before I started this video, I'm like feeling my feelings, and I don't know, man, it's just weird, it's strange. Snitch on myself. I bring my problems to the rooms, and they get cut in half, and I'm going to call my sponsor later and talk to him about this issue I had at work last night, you know. Yeah, it's just a lot going on, and I'm you know, I'm feeling my feelings. Let's put it that way. And no matter what, just for today, one day at a time, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to drug. I don't have a burning desire to drink or drug or to harm myself or harm anybody else. I'm just, in a blah type of feeling. And I know this feeling will pass, and feelings aren't facts, But yeah, I need this, I think today more than I needed it any other day, because all the other days I was just amped up, fired up. And today I'm just, feeling some sort of way. I didn't get to hit my 3-topic men's meeting last night because we had inventory at work. And shit hit the fan at work and the guns weren't working, so we didn't do inventory. And I'm thinking, let's do it by pen and paper because, inventory is so, working these steps, I know how important inventory is, And I relayed that to working at, my job, and we don't do inventory. So much can just, you got to do a moral and fearless inventory, but we didn't do it. And then, I ate pizza. I was just a sloth and gluttony, boy. Oof. Man, I ate so much pizza last night. I had like four, maybe 5 slices. Well, let's take it back. I ate 2 meat lover slices. Then they had the buffalo chicken, and I just ate the chicken off it. I was a slob. And then I had these ginger ales, man. You think ginger ale is good, and you read it, and there's 36 grams of sugar in 1 can, and I had 3 of them. Yeah, how good is that for me? Reminds me of another share in the room. The brother said, I got to be better to myself. He didn't say that, but what he said was, I'll talk about that another time, another day. But I'll talk about my brothers. My brothers helped me so much in that room. And then I jumped on midnight last night, and I got to hear somebody that I truly care for a lot. That's helped me a lot with her shares and her knowledge and her wisdom and her strength and her experience and her hope. And then the parking lot, and I got to hear her qualification last night. She shared her strength, experience, and hope. And I got to listen, but I wasn't able to be active because, there's inventory. The bosses are there, And then what really bugged me, and I'll let this one out, it's like you have all these people, inventory gets canceled. They bring in 30 pizzas, 30 or 35 pizzas, whatever. There's a ridiculous amount of pizzas. All these people are sitting there, and I clearly said if everyone would just pack out 4 items, my night would be a lot easier. And, they ate their pizzas and they left. 3 people stayed and helped us. I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for those 3 people. But, here I go having expectations, and I made that amends. False expectations. I can't have expectations on people. I can't. I really can't have expectations on anybody. The more I work this program, the more I'll get better at that. I'm still just a human being. I'm still just a man. I still sin. I'm trying not to sin. I'm not trying to be sinless. I'm just trying to sin less. Yeah, but today is March 31st. You know what it is too, I think? Tomorrow's the 1st. And I always get kind of funked out around this time because it's the anniversary of my father's death 40 years ago. 40 years ago tomorrow, I lost my father. I was told by my mother it was a grand mal seizure. She didn't lie. She just fabricated the truth. He did have a grand mal seizure, but it was induced by drugs and alcohol. And, she's just trying to protect her baby boy. So, yeah, I'm a little funked out. Not feeling the best right now. Plus, I got, 17 hours, 16 or 17 hours, and it's only Monday. 8-hour shift for Monday, 17 hours. It's crazy. Oh, who's this guy walking on the highway? Oh, man. I should have stopped and asked if he needed a ride. Oh, never mind. His truck's up ahead. It's just one of those days, y'all. It's one of those days. And what do I got to do? I got to be of service to other people to get myself out of this funk. Get myself out of my own head. So I wrote my green book here because, I'm on my 4th book, my 5th book now. I have a black book, right? And inside my black book are 4 other books. And now those are all full. The black book, I still transfer stuff over. I've been slacking on that too. And then I got this new green book. So, and this green book, I'm doing something a little different. You know, for 90 days, I put 3 things on the top that I need to do for the day. Today, those 3 things, and I'll share them with you. 3 things were to read from the big book, to meditate for at least 15 minutes today. Listen, my God, try to make some conscious contact, and to make this video. I actually put to make 3 videos, so yeah, I've done 2 of them. I read from the big book this morning with my in-person home group, which was, you know, that's kind of a cheat. I knew we were going to read, but also going to read with a couple of people today. Hopefully one of my temporary sponsees jumps on. The kid that asked me to be a spiritual advisor asked if we could read, so I know he'll jump on. Just got to make sure I get a little bit of sleep, you know. Sleep's very important. Very, very important. And after doing these videos, I'm able to go home and sleep. I mean, it doesn't really help that my kids are home the whole week, but they're my kids. I love them. And yeah, it is what it is. I gotta look into getting this damn interlock blower device thing. And then I gotta look into, another attorney. I got rent coming up because it's a new month. Got the bills coming up because it's a new month, you know. But, you know, like I said, I got 16, 17 hours. It's Monday. Easter's holiday pay. So I got a good chance to get back on my feet this month with pay. I have a little setbacks. And I got to accept the help when people offer. You know, I keep deferring it. But I just got to accept it. So I'm working on it. It's spiritual progress, not spiritual perfection, as the book says. And then it's also progress, not perfection, depending on what's your stance and how you're looking at it, right? But yeah, it's my daily check-in for March 30th. I'm sorry, March 31st. Yeah, I feel a little better now that I've done this. It really does help me. Put it out in the ether. God's got me. God's got a plan. As long as I give him my will back, you know, it's thy will, not mine, be done. Thy will be done. Sometimes I just feel like growling, you know. But it's one of those days, you know, I'll get through it. And as long as I don't drink or drug, it's still a great fucking day, all right? So with that being said, I'm going to cut this short, you know. Usually go about 18, 20 minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna cut this one short because I'm gonna call somebody right now. Hands free, of course, because you know I'm driving. So I'll say Siri, call, and then AA, because this phone's full of AA. Well, that's another thing. My other phone, the screen is acting up, so you know I'm having issues with that. I got all the makings for a nervous breakdown right now. I just ain't got the time, nor does God want me to, so I won't. Right? Man, I do though. I got therapy. I do got good news. I am with the good news. I found out that through my insurance, I got this HSA or HS, whatever the hell it's called, and apparently they should be reimbursing me for my my therapy, which is kind of nice. I just got to figure out how that all works. And then as I was filling it out, they sent a text to my old phone, and my old phone I can't unlock, and I got to wait till Wednesday. But you know, I'm not going to sit here and dwell on the negative. I got to focus on the positive. There's a lot of things to be grateful for today. As a matter of fact, I should go do my gratitude list. I've been doing gratitude lists and gratitude videos, so I'm going to keep doing those. They make me feel good. Anyway, I'm feeling a little better. A little bit. Feelings aren't facts. Feelings will pass. And yeah, I'll get through it. Guys, if nobody told you this today, especially you watching this right now, I love you. God loves you. AA, come into the rooms enough, you'll start to love yourself, because that's what happened to me. So, like I said, if nobody told you this today, let me be the first one to tell you, I love you. Because the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous taught me how to love myself. And that's truly a blessing. And one last thing, you know, we're not a glum lot. With that being said, it's your boy Mark Dub. And yeah, it's my daily check-in for March 31st. Love you guys.